companies, it's not that there's some slight problem with their business plan that needs correcting. It's that their business plan, the very core of it, is the problem. Because their business plan is to wreck the planet. That makes them a very special case, even within the realm of really bad business people. The only possible analogy is the companies that manufacture nuclear weapons, but at least those companies tell us their weapons won't actually be used to destroy the planet. They're just kind of there as a deterrent. Fossil fuel companies offer no such assurances. In fact, they're counting on their particular brand of weapons being used against your future, against the climate. Because burning carbon is the whole point of digging it up. Now, some people claim that we shouldn't go after the fossil fuel companies because the oil companies are us. They say the guy who drove a car to this event is just as guilty as Exxon, or maybe even more guilty because, according to the laws of supply and demand, consumers are supposedly demanding that they dig up all that carbon to power our lifestyles. And it's true, we could all be doing more to curb our consumption. But it's also true that most people would be perfectly happy running their lives on renewable energy if they could. As an addiction. And it's actually a pretty good analogy. Just like with getting off drugs, the hard work of carbon detox is ultimately ours. No one can do it for us. But in order for us to have a fighting chance of kicking the habit, we have to get the pushers out of our faces. And the pushers are the fossil fuel companies, the global carbon cartel. Going after them won't solve the problem, but it will create the necessary conditions for us to solve it ourselves. It's not like we aren't trying. Again and again, we've seen popular movements rise up to combat climate change. We all get fired up, and we start to recycle, and we start to bicycle, and we work like crazy to elect politicians who promise to build an economy based on green jobs and to pass comprehensive energy reform. And we invest our hopes in big environmental summits in Rio or Copenhagen. Again and again, over the past 2.5 decades, we have mobilized to make individual changes and to demand systemic ones. And again, this movement has somehow lost momentum, petered out. Why is that? It's not because deep down in our collective unconscious we really have some sort of death wish. The problem is that our profound desire to protect life on Earth is a direct threat to Exxon and Shell's desire to remain the most profitable companies in, as Bill puts it, the history of money. Their stock price is based on always having in reserve as much as they have in production. And that means the very thing we must do to meet the climate challenge, stop digging, is the very thing they cannot contemplate without staring in the face of their own demise. And by the way, it's not just corporations. Entire countries, the ones that heavily depend on oil revenues, end up waging a wholesale war on truth, attacking scientists and environmental groups simply because the truth challenges their economic paradigm. Faced with such a serious threat to their bottom line, these forces fight like they mean it. Every time the climate movement has gotten its act together, the fossil fuel interests have sent powerful lies into the culture and bankrolled their endless repetition. That climate change is a hoax, that climate action will destroy the economy, that you have to choose between good jobs and a healthy planet. They have bought our politicians and blanketed our airwaves, and they have attacked our movements from all sides. They have defamed us, infiltrated us, and tried to buy us off. In short, they have behaved as if they're at war, because they are. We really do want an end to their business model, not because we hate them, but because our survival depends on it. It depends on keeping 100% of their proven reserves in the ground. It's our side that's been kidding itself. For a long time, the environmental movement behaved as if climate change was the one cause that didn't have an enemy, that it was just a matter of getting the information out or finding the right technical fix, and then everyone would realize that we're all in this together. But here's the thing. We do have an enemy. We have a few of them, actually. The good news is we know exactly who they are. And as of right now, we're going after them precisely where it hurts them most. Remember this moment. This is when we got serious.
Eastern megalopolis out of their homes. That would have been about